Okay then, so in this tutorial what we're going to be looking at is screenwriting. So I've selected that you use Celtx, Celtx .com as your script writing resource. Okay, so this is a tutorial to help you navigate the work area. Okay, so at this point in time I've logged in. I've got a user profile and everything like that in Celtx, and I have used it in the past. Okay, one thing you've got to take into account is that they will occasionally bug you about going premium, but you don't necessarily have to go premium to be able to write scripts and print scripts, etc. Okay, so this is an example of that. They're essentially trying to get me to grab one of these monthly subscription plans, and I'm not a screenwriter specifically, so I don't necessarily need that plan. Now it looks like it's a paywall and you can't get past that, but right at the bottom here you can see no thanks. Okay, so we're just going to click no thanks, and then essentially that's going to open up some other things. So these are scripts that I've written in the past for other projects and stuff. We're going to make a new project here. So this all occurs once you have created an account. So you will need to create an account now, find Celtx.com, Celtx, and then you'll be able to start like logging in and everything like that. You will need to verify your password and everything like that in your email account. So just pause the tutorial, just sign up for Celtx and come into this area. Okay, let's click new project. Okay, hey, what do you want to create? Film, TV, which one do you want? Most probably film and TV. So let's click on that. Okay, let's give your project a title, test title. I'm just going to call it this at this point in time, and I'm going to create the project. You can do different episodes, which is going to give you different scripts that you would then need to fill out, but essentially we are going to just do that. If you already have a script, apparently it supports PDFs and things like that. Oh, what's that going on? All right, click Create Project. So you've got a new project here, and that project has lots and lots of different things in. Okay, these are all just advertisements. Okay, they're all locked things, but we don't need any of that. We just want this file here right at the top, script test. Okay, so let's click on that, and that brings you into the script editor. Okay, now scripts have a certain format. Okay, if you were to create a script in a Word document or something like that, you would have to spend a lot of time getting the format right unless you're using a plugin. But luckily with Celtx you can do it perfectly. Okay, very, very easily. So we're going to just start. Okay, you'll notice that there are different formatting options here: scene heading, action, character, dialogue, parenthetical, transition, shot, text. Lots of different things. Okay, now we'll just go through each one of these one at a time. So a scene heading is essentially, you would have covered this in your actual lessons, what you would put in the scene heading, but for now I'm just going to put something really basic: an interior, day, and then we're going to put the location, so that is classroom. Okay, at this point in time I've wrote my first scene heading. It tells me the time, the place, in so many words. I'm just going to press return, see what happens. Watch this. When I press return, it changes automatically to action, so I can save a lot of time, because the first thing I'm going to write is action. I'm going to describe the scene now. Okay, so I'm just going to write what I see in the room. So that's essentially what's happening here at this point in time. Okay, one thing you need to take into account is there are certain rules that you will need to apply to your work that won't necessarily be applied by Celtx automatically. Okay, but for now let's just continue to see what happens when we continue automatically. If I press return, it will just go straight to action. Okay, what I can do, So I can change this to whatever it is that I need it to be. So for example, if I need it to be dialogue, I can change it to that automatically. If I need it to be character, which I do, I can automatically do that as well. Okay, so for example, I will write a character, student 1. Okay, so it's important for you to ascertain what the character is before you start writing dialogue. But if I've now done this, now that I've actually created the character, if I press return, it will automatically set me to the dialogue. So I can then write what the first bit of dialogue is. Okay, so I've done that now. What do you think is going to happen if I press return now? Is it going to be action, character, dialogue? What's it going to do? If I press return at that point in time, it's thinking that I am going to continue with dialogue. Okay, let's say in this situation I do that. So I write in teacher. Now it's automatically going to put this in capitals, so I don't have to worry about it because all of your characters' names are in capitals. If I press return at this point in time, it brings me to dialogue, and so I can continue. Teacher, what's he going to say? How do I do this thing? I don't understand. Okay, if I press return at this point in time, it's going to bring me to character. I can now select manually action if I want to do that. Or I can press tab, trusty tab. What tab allows me to do, go away. What tab allows me to do is cycle through all of the things that I want. So I want action. Very simple process, okay? I'm going to want to go back. I've outlined this as a character, so I can actually turn that into capitals as well. This one wasn't automatically done as capitals. It's only the character selection here that puts it automatically to that. If I press return again, it's going to automatically take me to the one it was at. So at this point in time, now this should be action. I've picked the wrong one. Doesn't matter either way because it is kind of the same, but we'll do that just for posterity's sake. And then I can press that again and I can add an action. Say for example I wanted a shot at this point in time. I can add that in. So a shot, it describes essentially what, something for the director to use as a way to ascertain a particular camera use. Okay, so maybe we'll just write close up. Again, it automatically does it in capitals because that's what it is. And then it takes me straight to action. So let's finish this off. If I press return once more, let's bring it down to dialogue. Sorry, no, let's bring it to character. Let's use the tab option. Okay, it's recognized that I have used student 1 before, so it gives me an opportunity to use that. If I was to go back and type in T, it's going to bring up teacher. Okay, I'm going to write in student. Okay. All right, so say, for example, our script finishes there, our scene even finishes there. Let's cycle through the tabs until we find the correct one. So that was transition. Yep. And that can be a simple fade out, but it can be whatever you want. When I press return now, where do you think it's going to take me? It's going to take me to a scene heading because that is the automatic next scene. Once I've got a new scene heading, it actually brings a list of all of my scenes up here. So it's very useful to organize things. And there are other options available as well. Okay, one thing I need you to know is how to export your writing. So that is essentially going to be using this option here, print/PDF. Okay, so you can download this as a PDF at this point in time. You should have a title page, which you haven't touched at this point in time, and your actual page itself. You just click download, and then you have the opportunity to actually peruse this as a PDF. You've got this as a PDF now, okay? So it's easily printable. Let's go back for a moment and think about the title page as a final thing, let's try and find that option. So there we go, up here, edit title page. Wonderful. Okay, and I can add contact information and anything like that. Press OK, and now you'll be able to see if we have this, you've got a title page as well, even though it is fairly basic at this point in time. Okay, each time I make a change, this will change as well. It automatically saves your work as well, so you'll never lose it. So if you click off, you should be able to click back on and find your work. It will automatically save it. That's essentially it. So good luck and make good scripts.